start with a very quick one. What is the principal reason from Robert? What is the principal reason for Europe, America falling behind? Are we too dumb, lazy, or expensive? Yes. No, I guess. Well, one of the things that I can mention on that is the quality and quantity of STEM universities and graduations. The China and Russia are, just and Iran as well are just pumping steam on STEM. STEM goes for what is it?
Science, technology,
science,
engineering, and
technology,
mathematics.
engineering, and mathematics. Exactly.
Well, I think Raphael did mention it in the beginning. It's the stagnation that is sourced from the very system itself. It's neoliberalism running into basically its endpoint and not having anywhere else to expand as far as capitalism goes. So I think that was the answer. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, it's basically like that. And I would even add the fact that if we're specifically talking about universities, these countries have embraced what we could call the reign of quantity, in the sense that they are not meritocratic anymore. China is an extremely meritocratic society nowadays. Iran is an extremely meritocratic society. And while the Western universities, of course, they still produce a lot of things, especially because there's the brain drain that, for example, affected, of course, Russia and also always affects other countries. So if you keep receiving people from India, Brazil, Russia, and other countries, of course, you're going to keep producing interesting stuff. But it's mostly preoccupied with all these ridiculous stuff we have mentioned before, that we could sum it up into wokeism, So these societies are not preoccupied with quality anymore.
Yeah, the other one is from Julius Caesar. So, is the United States aware about Asian soft power regarding media invasion? This question is tricky because, through YouTube, doramas, Chinese soap operas, and I always talk about doramas. I hate them. And the growing popularity of those geopolitical tools in countries like Brazil. And I guess the mistake in this question is that doramas are South Korean, Chinese soap operas, I haven't heard about them. I know nothing about them. And YouTube, that's more or less what we do here, a tiny bit of soft power.
We even have Chinese gaming industry competing with the Western gaming industry.
And pumping steam.
Yes. I don't know if they noticed. If they noticed, they haven't seemed to have done anything about it, because if we are talking specifically about the gaming industry, the US keeps pumping ridiculous games. For example, there's some new RPG game, where a medieval fantasy RPG game, I think it's the new Dragon Age, and I only played the first one, I think, where the characters are talking about pronouns. And well, it basically failed in its first weeks trying to sell it. And that's important because, yes, it's part of soft power, it's part of the cultural wars, etc. But no, the Western world haven't seemed to be doing anything about that. And if they are going to do it, they are probably going to appeal to censorship before changing what they are doing. So if they will do anything, they will put pressure on Netflix to drop the Turkish soap operas. In Brazil, it's the Turkish soap operas and the South Korean doramas that are popular. So they maybe, for example, pressure Steam into abandoning that new Chinese game, which I forgot the name, which is about the monkey guy. And that's going to be they haven't, because they really feel that they are right in what they are doing, right from the standpoint of the values that they are defending. People from the left wing, especially in Brazil, don't think that all of the wokeism stuff, the postmodern liberal progressive stuff, it's basically opportunistic, it's for money. No, these guys really believe in that. They would die for it. Not everyone, some of these businesses are very opportunistic, but most of them actually believe in that, and they would prefer their businesses to fail before abandoning that, especially because nowadays with stakeholder capitalism, well, one of the 100 business that you have 5 or 10% stake in fail, you have another 99 businesses that you can keep investing on. So they care much less about the future of the companies themselves than in the 19th century capitalism, where we have the direct relationship between the bourgeois owner, which is always there in the place, and the working class, which is also always there. It's something much more virtual and fragmentary and postmodern in this sense. So let it know. To give it a short answer, no, there's no US strategy against South Korean doramas and Turkish soap operas and Chinese video games yet.
I would say that the Chinese and Russians still rely on traditional soft power heavily, for instance, in the realm of sports, right? So Olympic placement is very important to China, as it was to Russia, which is why Russia is banned from a lot of these international competitions, because they consistently perform very well in the number of traditional Russian fields like figure skating, gymnastics, biathlon, etc. So again, it's a matter of censorship, i.e. banning in this particular category, as opposed to adjusting one's own perception and perhaps maybe doing a little bit of self-reflection. But I think we're going to wrap it up at this stage. Thank you so much for coming on. This was really elucidating.
Just one very quick point, and I think another point there is that with all that we discuss here, perhaps Russia and China are not that interested in export their culture. They are interested in business, not export their cultures to other countries. Not that much, at least. But yeah, please, Nina.
No, I think you're right in the sense that they don't want to export it with the intention of dominating, but they are interested in having a positive image. And I think Russian and Chinese media, especially the Russian media that was banned, we all know what that one is, have been doing better than they were doing 10 years ago, but I don't think they've caught up to the Western models yet. But that doesn't mean they will not catch up in the next few years.